Powered by the Zapata Bread Studio. This is Straight Outta Jersey with Jersey Jay-Z.
What's up, guys? Joe Zapata, Straight Outta Jersey. And when we speak of Jersey, we got the beast of the East Son, Bam Bigelow's son here, Shane Bigelow. What's up, Shane?
What's going on, guys? How's it going, Jerz?
What's going on, my man? Hey, I have to ask you, man, you're a big dude and you play football and sports. How come you're not in the business of wrestling? Why don't you get in the WWE, man?
Oh, yo, you know what, man? I always remember sitting in interviews and he'd be like, if he wants to break in the business, we'll break him out of the business real quick type of deal. He wanted us to go to college. You know,
really?
Like he had dreams. You know, he wanted to do these things. He was an avid outdoorsman. He wanted me to be a marine biologist. He loved scuba diving. So he'd be off the reefs trying to get my mom to go snorkeling. She'd run into a shark, walk on water like Jesus right off Asbury Park. You know, he was the wild man, but like he wanted, you know, like veterinarian, marine biology, something outdoors. And he wanted us to go to college because a lot of the times in the 80s and 90s, it was all college tours. So they went to college arenas. So he was like, I want you to go to Texas A&M. I'm like, I'll try.
You know, growing up, obviously, your dad was who he was, Bam Bigelow. When did you realize your dad was not your ordinary dad? You know, your ordinary 9-to-5 dad.
I mean, everybody around here loved him and adored him. You know, even before when he was Bam, before he was Bam, they knew him as Scotty. And he had a little bit of peace here, but you know, my first memory is really walking in like old Seaview Square Mall and being like 15 people deep behind him because there was just kids corralled behind him and just kind of understanding that it's a little bit different. And then like, you know, being in school and like the old adage of like, my dad will beat up your dad, and then having like your teacher be like, no, I saw his father slam a guy through a table the other day. Your father's an accountant. Shut up, Steven. You know, like it's just there were signs.
Yeah, I have cousins, like I said, down in Bradley Beach and in Neptune, and they all went to school. A couple of them went to school with your dad, and you know he was very famous being a bouncer down there. People have seen him throw people out of bars like left and right. He's got a lot of famous stories. Your dad was obviously very tough. Now, is it true that he went to a prison and that he made a deal with a judge? I've heard that story on Dark Side.
Yeah, man. So apparently before when he's trying to figure it out, his buddy was a bounty hunter. And, you know, you got a big guy, great amateur wrestler, and his buddy talked him into, you know, hey, all we got to do is just go get this guy's wife. She's down in Mexico or blah, blah, blah. And they obviously, you know, like a whole Mexican tale goes on, and you know, you got two biker looking dudes across the border trying to go after a girl. You know, all she got to do is tell local governments, and then the next thing they're getting shot up and he's in prison. But he, you know, the whole like legend of him running through walls and like apparently stopping people from lunging at the judge, you know.
Wow.
There's only the people that were there would know, but those are the tales we heard, man. I mean, he was definitely in a Mexican prison. It was one of the biggest like open air prisons. So
that's crazy.
Man.
Yeah. Did you get treated differently by like your teachers or something because they knew who your dad was?
No. I mean, like with my father being in the spotlight, like I was a very open, personable kid, you know, and I got along with my teachers. It was nice. I was probably a pain in the ass. They caught me tripping in the bathroom or something, but you know, it was, I got treated no different, you know, and like, it was different times. Like my dad would walk onto the playground because he would drive past my house from getting off the airport, you know, or getting off the plane, and he would walk on the playground and you'd hear like kids like screaming and running. It was just different times. And all of a sudden, you know, Bam Bigelow's at recess, and just like, the teachers loved it. You know, parent-teacher conferences, I'm sure they were like, so I became a coach and teacher, and my friends who coached when I was they were like, listen, man, if you screw this up, Bam Bigelow's could beat the shit out of you. Like, you better be good to his kids. So maybe I don't know, maybe I got a little preferential treatment.
I don't know, but he was what thing about him was he was so big, but he was so limber on his feet. He could move, and that was very rare in wrestling at the time, especially in '85. And that big guy, and he could move.
Yeah, he had footwork like a cat, man. He could chop those feet up and get moving, man.
Yes,
he was excelled in football. He loved baseball. I mean, he was a great amateur wrestler. He was he could do literally anything. I mean, my buddy hit me up on Facebook, who was friends with him the other day, was like, he was the catcher on my softball team. Nobody wanted to slide into home. I was like, you damn right. You damn right. Like, he's a freight train.
Of course, he was huge, man. He was big. What was the big? How tall was he? Was he about 6'3", 6'4"?
Yes, us all of 6'3". Yeah, all of 6'3", and he walked around. He fluctuated anywhere from he was around 380, 390. Towards the end, he started losing weight because he wanted to diminish the effects of his diabetes. So losing weight actually kind of helped him out with his insulin. So he got down to low 300s.
Mm-hmm. When you were a kid, did you know it was kayfabe that he was putting on an act? Did you know he was getting beat up? What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, like your heart still pumps because I'm a fan. I buy into it. I always say, like, when the lights would drop and you'd hear the bell for like the Undertaker, like that shit still gives me chills down my spine. So like, there's always like you buy into it when he's out there, but the second you see him, or like even if he's walking out and he kind of sees you on the rail and he gives you a little wink, like, kayfabe is definitely evident, and like
100%.
Everybody bought into it then too.
Right? Yeah, it did. Back then it was different. It was much different back then. Yep. I've met your dad twice. Once when he was in WWE and then WWF at the time, and in ECW. And I remember ECW was a different ball game because you can kind of get close to the wrestlers. And I remember ECW being there, and your dad, it kind of was the shit. He was the man in the locker room. And I remember somebody was picking on somebody, and your dad came right over, and he did not like bullies. And he said, don't do that to that person. And I was like, oh, I guess someone cut in front of him trying to get an autograph. He goes, nope, this person's first. It goes first. That was the way your dad was. He was very protective of people. That's what it seemed like.
Yeah. And a lot of guys would say that he was very fair in the locker room, especially when he went, later in his career to the independents. If guys were getting treated unruly, or if guys were new, and he'd kind of give you that, like, I'll give you the advice. It's up to you to take it, and he would be the type to stand up for guys, and he did that all around. That wasn't just he didn't like bullies. He didn't like people taking advantage of people. He was a very honest man, and it showed, and you saw it. He was very genuine within minutes you meeting him. You were like, talk to this guy all day.
Yeah. Is your godfather Doink the Clown?
No, it's my brother's godfather.
Okay, your brother's godfather. Okay, I was like, I thought Doink because okay, Ray Apollo. Right. Yes, okay, that's okay. I didn't know which one it was. I was like, I thought I heard that before. Okay, so Ray Apollo.
Yep.
100%. Now, did you remember going to matches? Did you go to events with your dad all the time?
Yeah. I mean, anything that was where they, didn't have to fly, and he was allowed to, he was home and he could drive. We were in Connecticut a lot, New York all the time. I mean, ECW was constantly in Philly, where they were in hockey arenas up and down the tri-state, but we did a lot of Floridas, Tennessees. We would go down to Wildwood with my family in one motel room, King Kong Bundy's family in the next motel room. Wow. Ray Apollo, Doink the Clown at times in the next, and they'd do a little local show down there. But that was their way of being like, all right, we'll get a week off, and then we'll just go, mess around on the boardwalk.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, it was awesome.
That's really cool, man. Yeah. WrestleMania 11. I mean, this is before social media. People don't realize how big this was. I remember it so vividly. LT, Bam Bigelow. Before social media, this place, it was all over. Your dad was everywhere. People don't realize social media is totally different. What was it like for you, LT, Lawrence Taylor, the Giants, being with your dad?
It was cool because, like, I'm a Giants fan. My father's a Giants fan,
I'm a Jets fan, unfortunately.
which is it bounced back and forth. My mother's side of the family was a Jets fan, and the Giants took over. But Lawrence Taylor was such a great guy. I mean, he had his family over in our pool, and he was so personable. He was so awesome, and they had a great time, and they grew a really great friendship. You know, my father loved golf. Lawrence Taylor loved golf, and like so, you know, there'd be times where, you know, they'd be like, "Yeah, you want to get another round?" And he'd be like, "Listen, man, if we don't get this training in, like, I'll look fine out there. It's really on to you." And they put the work in. Those guys, it was the three of them. It was my father, Lawrence Taylor, and Ray Apollo, and they were in Asbury Park in one of the boxing gyms, you know, freaking shooting 9 and then going and slamming each other around. But
wow.
Yeah, they
Did
had
your dad taught LT how to wrestle?
yeah, so I mean, they had to choreograph it. They had to work together. It couldn't have been. My father had the ability to carry him, you know, and there's a lot of guys in the business that you can watch matches and they can wrestle an invisible man. It's because they're able to sell and they're able to show. So, you know, all LT really had to go out there was just show up and stand up, you know, and not really like lose wins because you get gassed out. He towards the end, you watch the matches. There's some points where he's like, "Yo, I'm not gonna be able to stand up. Like, we can't call timeout. Like, we can't have a commercial timeout." So, you know, they had to have it down, and he had to have that cardio built in. And the same thing goes for all of these guys. I mean, now kayfabe is so broken that you watch Logan Paul and you see his new special move that nobody's hit before, and then like. You know, they're like, "Oh, some luchador hit that like 15 years ago down in Mexico," but we don't know about that. But you're seeing it, the buildup. It cheapens it, I guess. You know, it's like him and LT were still going to conferences, slapping each other in the face, and then they were like having cigars on the back deck in the afternoon. Like they were really selling it.
Really? Wow.
And it sold well.
Wow, unbelievable. Do you have any of your dad's memorabilia by any chance?
I have the jacket, the flame jacket.
Yeah, I saw that on Dark Side. You have that one, right?
That's the only thing I have.
Really?
Unfortunately, like we didn't know it in the moment to really like cherish and keep that stuff. You know, like a suit from 1980 that wrestled 300 matches that's tearing in the crotch and all this stuff. It's like, you know, over the years it goes by the wayside, and in no point in time where we stopping to look at and be like, "Yo, let's start accumulating things for the end." And he was, you know, he had so many people that were monumental in his life, you know, friends that became family members that helped him out in times that he helped out. And he ended up, here are my purple pants, here are the flame jacket I wore to go out at WrestleMania 11. And he gave it out to those guys, and those guys are, you know, they're great dudes. They cherish it, and that's their piece of Bam Bam. You know, I don't have anything. I would love to have it. I had people try to sell it back to me. You know,
really?
Not those guys.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
Everything's in love and honor, and
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm friends with Travis Orndorff, whose father was Paul Orndorff, and he has a couple of his dad's robes, and he says that, you know, people are asking ridiculous money for them these days. You know, like 100,000 this month, and he's like, it's crazy. He goes, he's lucky he has some of that stuff. You know, you're high school.
If you want to buy that flame jacket for $100,000, I'm telling you with open eyes, I could speak for my brother, my sister, and myself. My sister get married in a few weeks. You could hit me up. I'll sell that jacket. $100,000. You want $100,000 to wear WWF apparel? Call me. The Bigelows. Listen, everybody got a price.
Everyone's got a price. $1 million man.
Got a price, brother, man. It's just a jacket. I got pictures of it.
Yeah. You're a high school teacher, correct? High school teacher. Sir. Okay. What kind of lessons or work ethic did your dad pass down to help you influence like the young people that you teach, or, you know?
Well, I can't say it to them nowadays, you know, but ultimately it's really just like a patience, you know. Your father sits you on the boat, tells you to shut up for 8 hours just because he doesn't want to hear you talk, but it's really teaching you patience and having patience. I teach in the special ed population.
Okay.
Trust me, man. When I got to say open to page 52 45 times, that's that patience. But lessons and the things and I always remember him telling us, don't half-ass things, like
Mhm.
you're going to do it, commit it, you're going to finish it. You're going to see it through, and having that patience, and then having that life experience, and I've seen so many different cultures and so many different people that, like, my kids in the classroom ain't ready for me, man. I'm coming at you 100 miles an hour. Like, yeah, like you ain't sharper than me. And I'm telling you what, I could be dumber than you too. So I'll meet you on your level and I'll beat you at your game. We're good.
Oh man. Did you enjoy doing the dark side of the ring? Did you enjoy doing that?
Not entirely.
No. It opened up a lot of some wounds, I know, but did you I know it did. I know it seemed that way,
yeah, man. It like I can't speak for my brother and my sister. I know my brother was a little frustrated with it. My brother's not much of a talker, and
yeah, I know it's pretty tough. I think you froze for a second. You still there? Boop. Hold on 1 second. I think you froze for 1 second. You there? I think you froze. Oop, I think you froze right there. Hold on. Shane, try logging out and come back in. You froze for a second. All right, guys. A couple seconds. We'll be back with Shane Bigelow, son of Bam Bigelow. You just sign him back in, back out real quick. Let's see real quick. I think I got you now. You there? You can see me?
yeah, I can hear you. Sorry,
Okay.
I heard you the whole time. My bad.
Okay, no problem. So you were saying the dark side of the ring, your dad, your brother wasn't really of a talker, right?
Yeah, my brother's not much of a talker. I mean, it takes a lot. It took a lot for us to open up, and you're ripping a Band-Aid off and you're pouring salt on the wound almost 17, 18 years after the fact. And then you're hoping that a producer and an editor cuts your words to construe what you're trying to get across. I was interviewed for close to 7 hours.
Wow.
So you're talking about, 7 hours for me. My mom was 4 or 5. My brother was 4 or 5. My sister was like 5 or 6. And like cut that down to a 48-minute TV episode,
Yeah.
And with all of the things said, I watched some of the Dark Sides of the Rings and I'm like, I really feel for that family. I really feel for like how it was portrayed, because they definitely didn't go on there and they definitely weren't talking about their father in the light that it was conveyed. So you're trusting these people, and they were great. They were like, the more we look into the story, the more your father's adored, and the less we feel that this is a dark side of the ring. I'm like, all right, well, let's sit down and talk, but
yeah,
I want you to do it in good faith and good confidence. And
yeah,
came out good, but it's my dirty laundry is now out there for everybody.
yeah. But people don't realize. Your dad was an icon, and he should be a Hall of Famer. That's without a doubt. It's tough because the wrestlers back then, they wrestled 365 days a week, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, and they beat up their bodies.
Yeah.
So it's not like today's wrestling. It's very different. They had to do that, or they didn't get paid either. If they didn't work, they didn't get paid.
Yeah.
So obviously, the choices someone they had to make was to help them get through those days. I totally understand that. But I thought the episode was good. And obviously, though, I could see you guys poured out your heart a little bit because you guys were frustrated a little bit with sometimes with your dad.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of frustration, and it's frustration and loss.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people manifest that in their own personal deteriorations, and everybody in my family handled it differently, but
yes,
it turned out good.
Yeah, it did. And everyone has problems. Everyone has problems. Every family here has problems. Here included, brother. We all got our issues,
You know what, man? We from Jersey, dude. We fight, but like it's like we're screaming at each other, and then somebody else comes along. We all turn our heads, and we're just like, we fight together, but it's out of love and God forbid you say something about a family member, we're gonna come at your throats. So
Yeah, it's 100%.
That's how it is.
Yeah, I see you got some tats. You got a lot of tats on there. What about one on your head? You ever think about doing that?
No, man.
No.
I got the hair. I enjoy it. I don't know if there's a market for employability on head tattoos, and now it's like a hipster thing, like if you go out and you're like rank the top 10 most famous head tattoos, you can't think of really anybody with a head tattoo. Mike Tyson, he's got a face tattoo, but it's Bam Bigelow, and then it's
Bam Bigelow.
It's like some hipster at the tattoo shop with a cat on the back of his head and giant gauge earrings.
Yeah. Is it weird going into the store and seeing like your dad's action figure on the wall or something?
It's a game, yo. I love it.
I've seen it.
I love it. I go to flea markets. I go to dirt malls. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna find Dad, and I'm gonna find him in like it looked like a Toy Story, like the neighbor's house, man. Half his face is melted off. He's like, face is smushed, and I'm just, it's great, man. I love it. It's like, let's go find Dad in a secondhand store. It's awesome when you run across him in an arcade. No, I love it. Yeah.
Well, did WWE ever talk to you about your dad getting in the Hall of Fame? Because he's a Hall of Famer. It's without a doubt, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. But nothing. You haven't got any call or any talk to WWE at all?
Early in the year, every year they start building their showcase or whatever for WrestleMania and Hall of Fame leading up to that. And a couple times they've reached out to me and they've been like, hey, do you have this? Or hey, do you have that? Like, no, I know a guy that can get you that jacket or can help you out with that. And I'll be like, is this the year? And they're like, no, but I'll tell you if you could keep it secret. And I'm like, I ain't going to keep that secret. I'm going to tell everybody I know. But everybody I know is off social media. So they're like, the year Vader was in, like, I got off the phone and I was like, beep, boop, boop. I was like, yo, man, Vader's going in. But they, this was when Vince was running the company at the time. And,
Vince.
They try to still keep it family friendly. It's still, their demographic is family oriented, try to be something for everybody. And to induct more than one posthumous wrestler a year is just kind of sad.
Yeah.
I get it. And then I also don't mind it because now, like, we could do this 20, 30 years down the line. You're going to keep coming out with dolls. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 dolls sitting around me,
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think your dad definitely needs to be in there, and they should put him in there soon, hopefully, God willing, because he definitely doing it. Do you watch wrestling now? Do you watch today's wrestling?
I watch clips and highlights just to keep up on it a little bit here and there, more when the school year goes on, because special ed community is like, we could talk about training, wrestling, and I could talk about fishing and stuff like that. So like, I find a little niche, and then, I'll keep up on the things, and I got one student, he's my boy. He's like, who do you think's gonna win tonight? And I'm like, I don't know, that's a good match, man. Then I gotta go Google who the whole storyline. So like, I'm like, if I'm not sharp, this kid's gonna come and just chip me apart. He's like, you don't know about him, So I follow it
a little bit. Yeah, it's not the same. I follow it, but not like the old school stuff. The old school stuff was the best stuff. For me, who was your dad's best friend in the business?
Samoans.
Walt Samoan, Alpha and Sika.
Yeah, Alpha Sika were great friends with him. He loved Bundy. Ray Apollo, Doink the Clown, was his road partner, his best friend, my brother's godfather. He there was a guy called The Wall. His name was Jerry Tootie. He was in WCW. He was labeled as The Wall. He was 6'11". He ended up wrestling in Japan for a good while. He ended up passing away over there. That's my sister's godfather. He lived in the spare bedroom of my house. Like when they were in the WWF days, Yokozuna, because he was the Wild Samoans, that was nephew to them.
Yeah, Yokozuna. Wow, it's big.
He was super, super fond of Undertaker. He loves him to death. Love Brett. He was, yeah, and he liked older guys, and he sat around, he kept his clique small.
The clique. He wasn't a fan of the clique, from what I understand.
No, but it's any high school bully dynamic. You go to any job, you're like, man, I hate those people. Like it's gonna happen anywhere. And we just got to watch it kind of pan out.
Yes. 100%.
Our struggle.
Yep, 100%. Who was your favorite wrestler besides your dad?
Oh man, my favorite. I loved Yokozuna.
Really, Yokozuna? Okay.
Yoko was great. I love Chris Candido in the ECW days. Dude, so many. Spike Dudley. It was one guy, I like little guys, man. To watch them just like fly around, and I especially loved, watching. Oh man, even like the early days of what was his name? Man, like 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Oh yeah.
Like that stuff, man, where it was like young and I mean, but I'm an old school. I love everybody, Now, I
know you like the Giants. What about Yankees Mets? You got to be a Yankee fan, right?
Of course.
Okay, good. Yankee fan, all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a couple other questions. Taylor ham or pork roll? Which one is it?
Pork roll. Pork roll. Taylor ham's a brand.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Right. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Nah, unless I'm hammered in his Domino's.
That's exactly right. Favorite TV show?
Oh man, favorite TV show. More like series. I like series. Okay. I remember watching Band of Brothers with my father, and whenever it came on, that was my jam. So now I still watch it. I'll go with that. Band of Brothers.
Favorite movie?
Oh, dude. Come on. I'll tell you a movie that you would not expect. That's one of my favorites just because it's got nostalgia. What? There was this Middlebrook Theaters in Ocean Township where I grew up. Real 8 movie theater, and we went there. My father, he would sit, and we sat not front and center. We sat in the middle. There was nobody else in the theater.
Okay.
It was my father, my brother, and I. And my brother was running up and down the aisle, and we saw Beavis and Butthead Do America. He was laughing his ass off, and my brother's got his thing, and he's running up. He's like, "I am Cornholio," and dude, it was the best time at the movies, man. Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, Butthead, man, he was laughing so freaking hard and having such a good time. So that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. A couple other questions now. If you can actually speak to your dad one last time, what would you actually talk to him about?
Fishing. Yeah,
fishing. Because he loved fishing. I know he loved fishing, right?
Yeah, man. He'd want to hear about what's going on with the boat, me and my brother, and what we're catching, what's biting. Stuff like that. I don't want to waste time catching up with the past, and I don't want to find out things that I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Then you're just screwed. So I'm just going to keep it clear and present, and we're going to talk about what's going on right now, and it's going to be like it was never gone,
Yeah. If young kid doesn't know who Bam Bigelow was, what matches would you say, hey, you need to know this, watch this match or watch this, and you'll know who my dad is?
I mean, it's Taz through the ring, dangerously, ECW. That's unanimous. I say that forever. Yeah. But if you want to I always find the link. I'm like, oh, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage. Yeah, I know Randy Savage. I'm like, Andre the Giant, and King Kong Bundy. They're like, yeah, I've seen those guys. I'm like, well, Survivor Series, 1989, you have Rick Rude, Ken Patera, One Man Gang, King Kong Bundy. I mean, there was Billy Superstar Graham, Ken Patera. Just
Ken Patera, yeah.
Yeah, and my father is a rookie, fresh out the gate. So
yeah. He was the first video game I had. I remember on the original NES Nintendo, the first video game I ever got, your dad was in it. I was playing it against Hulk Hogan every day.
Yeah, I think that was the first one ever made. He's
first one.
cemented his legacy. And that was like, we used to go to arcades down here, and it would be like, you'd see, WrestleMania, and it was a big blue arcade, and it was so great, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. What do your kids in your class think of you with your dad being who he is? Do they think it's cool?
I go strictly incognito, man. I let them
really
find out. Yeah, I let them find out because it's fun to me. I'm not the type of person that's gonna come up in your face and start talking like. I'll go to the story and listen to the bum rambling about wrestling, and then he gets up to Bam Bigelow. Oh, that's my father. He'd be like, oh, he gave me a striped bass in 1995. But like my students, right? They'll about a couple of them will get it quick if they have older brothers and stuff, or they're on the football teams, wrestling team, and that. But some of them will start Googling because they all got iPads, and everybody Googles their teacher. So then the first thing that's going to come up is YouTube Shane Bigelow, podcast son of Bam Bigelow. So it's like, I got to give my disclaimer. Like, I know you're watching me in class, right? There is a mutual respect. All right. Help me help you. All right. Like, so then they'll look up at me and they'll be like, I don't know that guy.
No, that's pretty cool.
That's my brother. Yeah.
Well, your dad would be extremely proud of who you are today, I'm sure. I mean, your dad, from all the stories I heard, he was nothing but a great, cool person and was really down to earth. Everything I heard in Jersey about your dad. Been here a long time. I know everybody down there, they all say the same thing. Your dad was just a super great human.
He is Jersey through and through.
100%.
Dude, I've been around a lot of places, and everywhere I go, I'll run into somebody from this area. It's like, oh, I went to Neptune High School. Oh, your father planted some guy on his head in the state championship of wrestling. It's like, and I'll be in Tampa or I'll be in Austin, Texas. I'll run into somebody. It's just like cool. I'll go through TSA, a veteran guy. I'll be like, oh man, I remember your father coming through Newark twice a week, 3 times a week. He was always the nicest guy. Like stuff like that, man. So he's a New Jersey icon, man. He's cemented himself in this state.
Yeah, my cousin told me that a pizzeria down by Asbury Park, your dad was in there buying stuff for himself, and there was a bunch of kids who saw him in there, and he bought pizza for everyone in the place. I mean, that's who he was. That's who he was. Like, dude, and that's who he was.
He used to go to the Ritas down in Neptune, man. He would buy everybody Ritas. He loved Ritas so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. He was down there and like he was so accessible.
Yes.
It wasn't like, yo, man, I'm eating with my family. It's like, all right, brother, let me get a picture, man. Like, I feel like, put you in a headlock and it'd be like, you want some food? Like, stick a French fry in your mouth and like, then you're on your way.
Yeah, he had no ego, they said. He didn't have an ego, didn't think he was better than that. He did not. That's what they said.
No, and especially around here, man, he just wanted to be Scott. He wanted to be Scotty. Like,
Scotty, yep.
That's it. Like, the guys I run into now, they're like, I remember your father driving a boat through the Asbury Park piers like a maniac and stuff like that. They got fishing stories. And then, my uncles, my grandfather, and they're all Jersey Shore wild, man. Like, everybody's got a Bigelow story, man. There's whole families, Bigelows, Biermans, Bertelsons, all those guys are just Neptune pumped out a lot of people that have went on to just really just spread out, and you'll find somebody from Neptune everywhere, actually.
Yeah, you will. I mean, when you think of the Jersey Shore, you think of Springsteen, you think of your dad, you think of the boardwalk and everything, but that's what you think of, all those stuff. Your dad's part of Americana, Jersey Shore. You can't say it any more than that.
Yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Where's your social media and your podcast? Where can people find it?
Oh, I don't have a podcast. Oh, no. Nah, I don't have a podcast. I just like talking to you guys, man.
Okay, we love talking to you.
Find me on social media, mostly Instagram, Facebook, big_low 78. It's mostly me just reposting pictures from my Australian friend who gives me videos, and then it's like me. My brother is trying to get me to dive under the boat in 200 foot of water to make sure the sonar works and get bit by a shark. So yeah, stuff like that.
All right, cool. Are you going to go fishing this before you go back to school?
Oh, brother. I'm gonna be. My boss better not be watching. I'm planning the first few days out. Like, load the boat. I'm coming in hot. Like, I might swim out to you. Like, brother, there ain't no downtime. Like, before we go, I was talking to Doink the Clown, and he was telling me, he goes, "Me and your father never checked the weather. We got off that plane and got on that boat. We didn't care if it was a monsoon." What would Scotty do? And every time I look at my brother, we go out in bad conditions. I'm like, yeah, I would have done it.
Well, don't be a stranger. Hopefully, maybe we can meet up down the shore. I'm going down to Cape May, so I'm going to be down there towards that area. So let's grab a beer or something, man. On me.
Absolutely, man.
Right.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Your dad was an icon. We love him. Love you. Thank you, my man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it
so much. Appreciate it so much. Thank you, Shane. You got it, bro.
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. JZ pumping iron. Body builder coding. Beings on the course.